street session in front of the house.
There you
And
go.
I have a box that like folds up. So it folds up to be like this. And so it's easier to move. It's easy to move around. So
Oh,
I
that's
just
awesome.
skated that for a little bit for like maybe about an hour and then went back inside.
Oh, that's perfect. That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, we are officially live, Sasha. We are live streaming on YouTube, actually. So, hello, YouTube family. This is exciting. So, you guys, I'm so excited to be here with Sasha Senior, and this is our first of, I hope to be many, many online events. Definitely, we have at least a few more in our back pocket. And we're coming together as two moms who really, I appreciate skateboarding. That's why I showed up in her shop. And we really just value wellness and also mental health, and obviously supporting our community to be as healthy as can be. So, Sasha, I would love for you to introduce yourself and just to tell everyone a little bit about your story before we begin.
Okay, so well, basically, like you guys heard, my name's Sasha Senior, and I'm the owner of Bliss Skateboard Shop. It wasn't a project that I had in mind like years ago. It kind of just happened. So it's interesting to see how much it's grown and how big it's gotten just, just within the last year. So Bliss is actually my side job, and I have a full-time job with the Canadian Armed Forces. I do human resources for them. So usually behind a computer, putting information in, doing pay or anything like that. And then on top of that, I also have two young boys, two young sons who are 5 and 2, and they're definitely a handful. So I'm juggling all that, and of course, other personal stuff like we all deal with too. So yeah, it's been fun so far.
It's incredible. And you know you're on the right track when you just start doing it and everyone starts celebrating you. You've been in so much press and media lately.
Yeah, it's been crazy because it's just like one thing after another. So I did like breakfast television, CBC, How She Hustles, TV series or the web series, and I've done quite a few podcasts with different people, different live streams on Instagram. Like we were featured in the barracks, which is huge. If anyone knows skateboarding, like it's huge.
Mhm.
And then also my name was also mentioned in Thrasher magazine. Like it's just been crazy over just all that over the last year.
It's incredible. Just try Googling Sasha Senior and you'll see all the different media. And you did appear on the Ambitious Mama podcast as well.
Yes, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there was like I think 3 podcasts that I've done so far, and now I'm just like I can't even keep track of all the stuff that's happened so long. But yeah, we had a good one. We did do a good podcast,
We
so it was
did
fun.
actually. If you guys want to catch that, it's really about mindset. We'll share it in the links afterwards for sure. We'll put it in the show notes here on YouTube. All right, so Sasha, we have some visuals, so we will get started. I'm just going to cue those up, and we will get this party started. So happy to be here with you. This is so awesome. All right, here we go. Okay, so we are going to go through 5 ways skateboarding boosts mental health. And I don't know if we timed it out perfectly, Sasha, but this past Monday, wasn't it Blue Monday? Is that what everyone was
Uh,
calling it? It's like the
I've
darkest.
no, I don't even know.
Yeah, that everyone was talking about how it's like kind of one of those days where people are feeling blue. So we hope you
Huh.
guys are not feeling blue today, but it is the skies are gray, that we have long nights, not a lot of daylight. So it's really time that we focus on our mental health for sure. So let's do it. So you've already met Sasha. If you haven't checked out her skate shop, you have to get there, especially when the doors are officially open. But in the meantime, Sasha, how can they connect with you? Are you doing online shopping right now? How's that going?
Yeah, so we're doing online orders with curbside pickup, and we're doing free local deliveries within Windsor for any orders over $100, which is pretty easy to hit if you're ordering a set of trucks and a board. So, that's yeah, we're doing that for people if they wanna have that option as well. So we're not
Amazing.
open officially, but you can still order stuff and get your products.
And I don't know exactly the full details, but aren't you doing a project right now? You're collecting parts. Can you tell us more
Oh
about
yes. Yeah, so our Build a Board project, basically what it is that we're asking the skateboard community to donate any used skateboard products that are still in good condition. And then once we get as much pieces as we can, we're going to go over them, make sure they're actually pretty good, touch them up if we have to, and then we're going to build skateboards out of the parts that we get and hand them out back to the community So not just younger kids, but anyone who actually really needs a board, who wants to skate.
Mm.
So that's going to be happening on June 20th, the day before Go Skateboarding Day.
Oh, when's that? When's the skateboarding day?
Go Skateboarding Day is June 21st.
Okay.
And it's like it's universal. Like if you're a skateboarder, then you know about Go Skate Day. And the best thing about Go Skate Day is that if it's Go Skate Day and you haven't skated for 15 years, you're like, oh, it's Go Skate Day. Okay, I got to go outside at least once. So it brings people out.
Oh, amazing. Okay, we'll have to talk about how I'm going to get the boys out that day. All right, so up next we have a real poser. That's me. Pretending to be a skateboarder, but I do want to skateboard, Sasha. This is going to be the summer that I do officially move on the board. But my passion comes from supporting my two guys. So my guys are on the outside. That's actually my nephew in the middle, and this is one of their skateboarding teachers. This is Charles Madruga from Windsor. And my eldest Curtis there, he developed a love for skateboarding super young, like super duper young. He's like 3 or 4, and then he's been skateboarding, and that's like his thing. He's 10 years old now, and when he started to develop his love for skateboarding, I said, well, why can't I give skateboarding the same credibility as I would as hockey or anything else, right? So I looked for coaches, and I supported him with that. But not just supporting him with his love of skateboarding, I seen really how it was supporting his overall health, but also his mental health and that perseverance. And I was seeing the correlation between like really developing a strong character and like the willingness to face your fears and the willingness to try something even though you probably will fall was quite remarkable. So I really am such a huge promoter of skateboarding for what I think it can do for everyone. I don't quite have the same fearlessness as my children do, but it is on my list. Well, I do in life, but not so much skateboarding. But Sasha, we'll get there. Okay, so you prepared 5 ways that you believe skateboarding boosts your mental health. So I'm just gonna pass it over to you and take it away. I'll move the slides forward.
All right, cool. So yeah, I did a little bit of research, and it was actually really interesting to me how skateboarding boosts mental health, because I don't think about it. I just go out, oh my gosh, I just want to skate, right? You just get out there, you get on the board, you do what you like to do. So the first one we have is exercise, and there's the great thing about exercises is that there's so many different ways that you can do it. And with skateboarding, you can either do tricks or whatever, or you can just go out and cruise, which is awesome. But either way, you're still doing some type of exercise. So with exercise, you release lots of different chemicals in the brain, which helps with brain function. Some of them are, we have endorphins, which is a feel good chemical, right? That gets produced in the brain. Another one is also serotonin, right? And that helps with a lot of different things. I'll get a little bit deeper into that later on. Another brain chemical that gets released is called norepinephrine. And this one's actually pretty cool because it's a hormone and a brain chemical. And so when it's released into the bloodstream, it actually helps you to stay more focused and alert. So that's why you'll see a lot of athletes, they look really focused, when they're about to go do whatever they have to do, whether it's basketball, skateboarding, hockey, any sport, right? You look at the Olympians and once they get into it more, they're super focused, right? Because you have those different types of chemicals that are being produced. And all this kind of stuff helps with more brain functionality. And then at the end of it, you feel good about yourself. So let's say you don't skateboard, but you still go to the gym or something, or you do some type of exercise, you push yourself, you're like, it was kind of difficult, but at the end, you're like, yeah, I feel kind of good about that afterwards, right? Even if it's just for a few minutes, you got outside, you got some type of fresh air, some type of exercise. And it's just a feel good thing. So that's a good thing about exercising with skateboarding, even if you're cruising, like I said, because at some point you're still putting your foot on the ground and you're kicking and you're pushing, right? You gotta move your body some way, and you're moving your entire body. It's not just one part of your body. So that's exercise there for skateboarding. So that's actually a picture of me, if no one realized. And during this event, we had a lot of people come out to Charles Clark Square, if anyone's ever been there in Windsor, and it's a super flat ground area. So we set up a lot of ramps, and we had all people come out, and we were all skateboarding there. So another thing that skateboarding helps out with is self-confidence, which is one of my favorite things because everybody has their own level um, of achievement. And skateboarding is one of the very few exercises where it's you versus yourself. It's never, it can be you versus everyone else, but really realistically at the end of the day, it's you versus yourself. And so for one person, they're trying to achieve maybe dropping out on a ramp, but another person, they're trying to just achieve staying on the board. And once they're able to do that more, they're like, okay, I kind of mastered this. Now I can get some other stuff done. Now I can learn how to kick and push. Now I can learn how to, you know, go down this slope here. You know, your self-confidence builds up. And when you have something like that, just from skateboarding itself, then you start to gain self-confidence in other things too. And you feel better about yourself and you have a greater self-worth as well. So skateboarding definitely builds self-confidence for sure. So another thing, this is also one of my favorite ones, is the social hub. Whether you have a small circle of friends or a huge circle, or you don't know anybody just yet, skateboarding brings that out of you anyways, because when you go to the skate park, you know, if you're new to the area, you know, you might not know anybody, but as you keep going, you start to see similar faces and you might not say hi to them, but a lot of skateboarders know, you know, you just give the little head nod, like, hey, I've seen you before. And it's kind of like a different sort of sense of communication. So from there, you kind of build a social hub, and it's very good to be around people, as we know, especially with this pandemic right now, we can't be around people too much, but we're still trying to, because you need that social interaction. It's very good for your own personal development. So you can have a large social hub, which is huge. Maybe it's interconnected, and that's what skateboarding is. Like, I have friends that are skateboarders in Jamaica, Trinidad, California, South Africa, Uganda, all over the place. And the one thing we have in common is skateboarding. But then I also know a lot of local skateboarders here, and it's great when you see someone, you know, that you've, oh, I haven't seen you in a while, hey, how's it going? You know, you have that bit of social interaction, and it's definitely something that we all need. So
Absolutely.
that's the social interaction is great. It gives you a sense of safety and a sense of community too, which a lot of people need, and a sense of belonging within your group.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that little nod. I see Curtis giving that nod.
The head nod, yeah. You don't even have to say anything else. You just the head nod, yeah.
Yeah.
So with natural light comes vitamin D, right? We all need vitamin D. And I'm sure that, well, Christa, you know, probably when your kids were a bit younger, your nutritionist will tell you, well, you make sure that you get the vitamin D, and they might have said, hey, give them the vitamin D drops, right?
Mm-hmm.
But how else can we get vitamin D? By going outside. And that's the greatest thing of, you know, with skateboarding, especially in the summertime, it picks up a lot more, and you get that natural light. So even if you're not out there doing something crazy, you get natural light coming to you. And so what natural light does from the vitamin D, it helps to produce more serotonin in your brain, and that regulates mood. It also helps to regulate your digestive system as well. And it helps you sleep better, it helps with memory. So serotonin does a lot of different things, and you produce that once you're more exposed to light. So you're outside skateboarding, if you're just cruising down Riverside or something, you're getting that natural light there, and it's a great view too. You get a good view of the river, and you get some natural light while you're doing it.
I miss that sunshine. I can't wait.
I know.
Come back.
And lastly, a stress relief, right? We all need stress reliefs. And it's interesting because I feel like sometimes we get so caught up in what we're doing so much that we don't take the time to get that stress relief.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason you need a stress relief is because stress can do a lot of things to your body, right? And it can also be very detrimental to your mental development. So with skateboarding, you don't even have to be doing anything crazy. That's the best thing about it. If you ever see people, they're cruising around with their dog or something, or their dog's also on the skateboard while they're on the skateboard beside them, and you just kind of let it go, and you get into your own world. Or you might see people who have headphones in, and they're just doing their own thing, right? And it's kind of an escapism, and it just lets you get out of the atmosphere of all the things that are going on in your, you know, around you and in your mind and everything. And you get to relieve some stress that way, just cruising it. If anyone's ever been out cruising on a skateboard, it's kind of freeing, you know, because you're just going, right? You might not have a set direction, you're just going along. So it's very fun to to skate. And yeah, with that, it's a good relaxation time, and relaxation is also beneficial as well. So I think we hit the, I don't know if there's any more. I think we hit all five there.
Yeah, that's all five. Exactly. I'm sure we could talk about more.
Yeah.
But actually, before we go on to the next section, let me just stop the share here because I would love for you just to be able for them to see you full screen. And what would you say to anyone who is like considering skateboarding? Like, where do they start? Like, especially as an adult. But also, I mean, if you're like, a lot of moms come to me and they're like, okay, well, my kid's interested in skateboarding. Where should I start them? Because it's not like you go to the local arena and you sign them up for classes. So what are
Yeah.
the two kind of avenues there?
Where to start? I always say, because I have a lot of parents that'll come in and they'll be like, oh, my daughter or my son wants a skateboard. Okay, what kind of skateboard? Like, there's lots of, do they want to do tricks? Do they want to just cruise around? Oh, well, their friend on the street has like a longboard and they just ride around. Or, oh, perfect. Okay, they want a longboard, so they just want to cruise. So I think that's the best place to start. What exactly do they want to do? Are they trying to just get from A to B, and just go and just have fun and be free with it? Or do they actually want to learn how to skateboard on the ramps, drop in and do tricks and that kind of thing? That's where you want to start, because it can get pretty technical. I'm going to be trying to do some skateboard lessons as well in the springtime. So, if anyone wants to drop in or whatever, that's always an option. But if you know someone who has a skateboard, you can just try it. Just ask them for the skateboard and let the kids see if they like it. If they like it, okay, well, we'll go from there, right? It's not an easy sport. It's not an easy sport, and that's why it's very confident building, because you will fall. You're gonna fall. You're gonna fall a lot. Yeah, you're gonna fall a lot. And so with that, it's like you have to realize that and be like, okay, no, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where you start. Figure out what type of skateboarding you want to do, and then you try that. If you want to try longboarding, okay, let's step on a longboard. Let's see how that works out. Oh, you didn't like that one too much? Okay, let's work on a park board and see how that works out.
Mm-hmm. It's really incredible, like the amount of perseverance that you need. And even like I see how the rise of the scooter happened like at the skate parks, because that's like way easier, right? And like I've seen kind of like my younger guy, be on the scooter and then try the skateboard and like see how much harder it is. But it takes like a real decision. I think we spoke about this on the podcast, but you have to decide that, like, no, I'm doing this. And I think the learning curve is probably harder than a lot of things.
Yeah, it can be very intimidating, but that's the cool thing about skateboarding with other people. Because let's say you have a group of 4 kids, and one or 2 kids is constantly getting better. The other 2 kids are gonna be like, I don't want to be the one that's the worst. I'm gonna try to do what they're doing. And so you have that little friendly competition in there. And so then you're learning off each other. Oh, so and so is just learn how to do 50-50. I gotta learn how to do 50-50 now too.
Yeah.
And so you have each other pushing each other, even if they might not be, saying, hey, you need to learn this, but because someone else learned it, then they're like, oh, I got to try that too. And so then you build that self-confidence, and it's easier to do that when you have other people around you who are skating at a higher level constantly, which is awesome. But it is a little easier than scootering. I'm not knocking scootering, because it is hard. Those guys do some backflips and crazy stuff on it, but it takes a little of it's just a different grit that you need with skateboarding.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so any questions for Sasha? We're going to wrap this up in about just 5-10 minutes, but we're going to be shifting gears to go into the nootropics, to biohacking our mind to make sure that our brain has the nutrition that it needs. But first, is there any questions for Sasha just in regards to skateboarding before we shift gears? I think I don't know, Brie, are you asking a question? I don't know. No, I see you moving. I don't know. Okay. Any questions? Just leave a comment, you guys. If you're on YouTube, we'll look for those as well. All right. So let's go back to our minds and biohacking our minds. Okay. So my background, a little bit about me. I am an educator for USANA Health Sciences, and I am a huge advocate for all things wellness. So we're going to talk a little bit about the health of our cells real quick, and this is going to be sprinkled in the upcoming episodes as well. But here's the thing is, in terms of our mind, in terms of our body, health begins with our cells. So we need healthy cells in order to just be healthy humans and to feel good in our mind and our body. On the left here is what healthy cells look like. In the middle is what happens just from this specific example is actually through like a trip through the drive-through. Okay, so you're eating processed foods, your cells become inflamed literally after one meal. There's a lot of ways that our body can experience oxidative stress, just from living, breathing, etc. But this specific example is a processed meal. Now, what happens after that? So our cells are damaged. These scientists at USANA Health Sciences, when they were doing this I guess experiment, they added the antioxidants from the antioxidants I'm about to show you, and the cells actually start to heal and to regenerate. So our bodies are powerful, but they need the tools in order to do what they're designed to, because we're under so much stress from our environment and just, you know, life stress, like these 4 sources of oxidation here. So mental and emotional stress, and we just went over all of the amazing benefits for skateboarding for your mind, and we want to just make sure we're giving our body everything that it needs. There's a lot of things here that we can control, in terms of like the quality of food we eat, you know, having a positive mental outlook, different things like that. But we also cannot control things like pollution. Sasha, you and I live in Windsor, which unfortunately I love our city, but we do have some higher rates of pollution, and so there's some things there that we just can't control. So we want to make sure that in terms of feeling good in our mind and our body, that we have the tools that we need. Now, we don't have time to get into all of it, so I just wanted to really to highlight and bring awareness to the fact that if we are taking supplements, which we highly do recommend that you do your due diligence to make sure that you're taking a quality supplement, okay? So you don't want to just take anything from the drugstore. You want to do your due diligence here, and this comparative guide is a great tool. I have access to this, so does Sasha, if you're wondering if the supplements you're taking are worth it. So you can definitely message either of us and we will hook you up with the bioavailability rating of the supplements you might be taking. All right, so here are 2 supplements to help your mind and to help you biohack your mind. So this one here is one of my favorites. I actually just took it about 30 minutes ago, and it does work in as little as 30 minutes. It's called Copa Prime. It helps you to do many different things, including retain information, have focus, attention, processing speed, long-term memory, short-term memory. It really works really well with your cognitive health, your mental health, and well-being. It's like food for your brain. It's really quite incredible. So mental efficiency, supports accuracy, and also cognitive response times. And I'm assuming if we're going to be skateboarders, all of these things would also be helpful, but just also in the busyness of life, we want to make sure that our brains have the food that it needs in order to thrive and to function. And also there's also some really great evidence at how it helps our brains to heal damage and also slow down the aging process as well. And the second amazing food for your brain is called Biomega. So you're probably familiar with the importance of your omegas, DHA, EPA for your brain. This is again brain food. Now, if you currently suffer from depression, anxiety, if this is something that you're prone to, you're definitely going to want to look at this specifically. If this was even the only thing that you did, there is some really great research and studies that really show the importance of taking very, very clean fish oil. A lot of fish oil is really filled with metals, like traces of metals, things like that. Like, it's just really hard to find a clean fish oil, and this here Again, food for your brain. And I can send you, I'm actually going to send everyone after this the link to a really great study on the omegas. Okay. And then for little ones, if you have little ones, there's also a children's omega product as well. This is what I'm going to send to you. But the thing is that everything from anxiety, bipolar, post-traumatic stress, the research really shows how important those fatty acids are, those amino acids, your vitamins, your minerals, your B complex for your brain. Absolutely non-negotiable, essential for your mental health and well-being. Our brains need proper food in order to thrive. All right. So, because this is our very first event together, Sasha, I thought we could give away a bottle of Biomega. So what we'll do is we're gonna actually post this is on YouTube right now. So those of you who are here with us on Zoom, I'm going to send you the link. So just go leave a comment on the YouTube link, and we'll be doing a giveaway later this evening for someone to win a bottle of Biomega. All right. So who has any questions, takeaways, anything you want to add to the conversation about mental wellness, skateboarding, mindset, anything like that? Or if you have any questions for Sasha or I, now is the time. Or any takeaways you want to share too, that would be awesome.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
Hi.
Sasha, this is for you. Years ago, I was a certified teacher, and I was doing a lot of homeschooling and tutoring. And I worked with this boy. He was in grade 5, very depressed, very low self-confidence. He thought he was stupid. And I remember our best time together. I knew I wasn't getting anywhere with him. I'm like, let's take a break. And he was really into skateboarding. So I let him teach me how to skateboard. I did fall off. Once was on purpose just to make him laugh. And the other one was, I was like, how is he doing this? But it gave him the confidence to be able to teach me how to do something. And after that, you could see his self-confidence came up, and he was ready to try working again. And we never had a problem with him after that. He just kept. So yeah, it absolutely can boost somebody's self-confidence. I loved that, all those things that you're talking about skateboarding. So.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And it's so true with skateboarding, and it doesn't matter how old you are, because I'm sure there's someone who's way younger than me who knows how to do a certain trick, and I'm gonna have to be like, hey, you're gonna have to show me how to do that. You know, they could be 10, 12 years younger than me. I'm gonna say to them, I have no idea how to do this. And that's the cool thing about skateboarding. There's no like age limit. There's no boundaries. We can all learn from each other. And because you learned that, you do have that sense of confidence, and yeah, it makes you feel better, you know, that you can actually do that. So thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah, Kelly, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's incredible. Does anyone else have anything they want to add? Any takeaways, anything you want to highlight or add to the conversation? Just unmute yourself and go for it.
I know my son's fallen off the skateboard a couple of times, and I had to laugh at him a little bit, but he was really upset that he fell, because he had all this confidence, and he's at the top of the ramp, and I said, don't you want to put your pads on? He said, no, I'll be okay. And he fell and he hit his elbow, and he said, Mom, I'm not doing this anymore, for like 2 or 3 days. And he didn't. And then after a couple of days, he said, okay, let's go skateboarding again. So it happens, you get those times where you're like, I'm so done with this. But then I feel like if you really get into it, it can never leave you. You're always like, all right, I'll give it a try again. So yeah, just a little story about my boys learning how to skate.
Absolutely. I've heard that one a few times. I'm never skateboarding ever again. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, if there's anything now, speak now or hold your peace for later. See Jeffrey, Jessica, Kelly, Bree, Ian. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to send a recap email to everyone who registered. Not everyone's here, with a little recap of the five things that skateboarding does to support your mental health and well-being and overall health, as well as a discount link to the products mentioned, as well as a link to the YouTube. And Sasha, anything else we're sharing? Maybe maybe your website link. We'll put lots of goodies in there.
Yeah, website link. And we're also doing a sticker giveaway on our Instagram page. So you just have to comment on it and then repost it in your story. And we're going to be giving away 4 of our new stickers that we got this week.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so we'll also put a link to the Insta there too. All right, guys, thank you so much for everyone who joined us live. We really, really, really appreciate you, and stay tuned for our next online event. Topic to be announced shortly, I think. Sasha, it's always a pleasure. I love working with you. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon. Bye.